What's up guys, it's Dan here from Digital Pinnacle, and today, as you can probably tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be counting down our top 5 favourite new features of Far Cry Primal. For those of you who haven't seen much about Far Cry Primal yet, as you can probably imagine, the game is the next in the impressive Far Cry series. The game is currently slated for release on the 23rd of February 2016 for Xbox One and PS4, or if you are a PC player, it will be on the 1st of March. But right now, let's get this countdown started. Kicking off the countdown at number 5, it is the change of era. Those of you who have played the previous 4 Far Crys will know that they are survival action games, always taking place in what is essentially the modern era, with guns, explosions, murder, and loads of other features us gamers love to see. Far Cry 4 was, by many people, heavily criticised for essentially being a reskin of the extremely popular Far Cry 3. I definitely won't deny that the two games did feel extremely similar, and considering that there was only a 2-year gap between the two games, unlike the 4-year gap we had come to expect, this led fans to believe that Ubisoft really hadn't tried with Far Cry 4. Hopefully, Primal is going to turn all of that negativity onto its head, due to the massive changes we are seeing to the series. The most prominent being that Far Cry Primal is taking us back pretty much as far as any game of its kind ever has. If you want specifics, it is about 12,000 years to the monolithic era. What I love about this change is that it is going to completely revamp so many aspects of the game and get us to rethink what Far Cry is really about. There won't be any more guns or explosions. Instead, you will have to take down your enemies with primitive weapons such as the bow and the spear. This means that it is going to be much harder to run into enemy encampments and try and take them all on. As a player, you are likely going to have to think very tactically on how you are going to be able to take your enemies down while preserving your life. Coming down at number 4, it is realistic hunting. Hunting animals has recently become a large part of the Far Cry series. The games have become famous for having realistic animals that can stalk you through the jungle and attack you basically out of nowhere, making every time you step out of your strongholds unpredictable. On top of that, in both Far Cry 3 and 4, you were tasked with hunting down very rare animals so you could craft the best equipment for your character. By the look of the trailers and gameplay we have seen, Far Cry Primal is going to take the hunting system and improve it massively. In the last 2 games, hunting normally consisted of you running around the jungle until you found an animal and filled it with bullets. But since there is no guns, hunting is going to be much more difficult than before. We have seen players stalk their prey, whether it is small mammals or huge mammoth. You will have to work as a team with your AI companions to take down the largest creatures, and be careful not to get your prey stolen by other predators. We have seen that predators are much more savage than the previous games, so you will also have to be careful not to get caught by predators that may be hunting you. At number 3, we have got an upgraded crafting system. This is a fairly simple feature, but it is great all the same. It relates back to the previous 2 features I have mentioned. The crafting system in Far Cry has been fairly basic, generally with you being able to use animal skins to upgrade your equipment. Each piece of equipment has 4 levels, with each level having more difficult hunting requirements. It seems that in Far Cry Primal, since hunting was the main method of survival in the era that the game is based upon, using the animal skins is going to be your main way of not just improving your character, but also building weapons, creating traps, and improving your tribe's camp. I'm really excited to get stuck into the crafting system and see how deep it is really going to go. Just missing the top spot, at number 2, we have Tamable Animals. As mentioned earlier, the animals have been a big part of the Far Cry series, but they have always been a threat. In Far Cry Primal, you will take on the role of Takar, the Beastmaster of his tribe. This means he has the ability to tame all of the predators in the wilderness of his lands, which appears to be a great new addition to the game. This feature isn't purely for visual enjoyment. The predators that you can tame have important parts to play in the game, whether it is the wolf, which helps you hunt other animals, the owl, which can help you scout enemy encampments, or the jaguar, who is a great help when sneakily infiltrating enemy tribes' camps. This feature appears to have been tried and tested within Far Cry 4, when during certain sequences of the games, within dreams, the player could use a white-furred tiger to help you take out your enemies in the mythical world of Shangri-La. It is good to know that a feature as complex as this has been in development for quite some time, and has received plenty of testing rather than being simply thrown into the game. Finally, at the pinnacle of the top new features of Far Cry Primal, it is a realistic language. According to everything we have seen so far, the entire game is going to be spoken in an entirely new language. This language is based upon real-life languages that existed more than 7,000 years ago. Linguists call these languages Proto-Indo-European. This is to say that it is a type of language that was spoken before any of the ancient languages we know, such as Latin, Greek or Sanskrit. It is said that even the English language can be traced back to these lost languages spoken by tribal humans. What is great about this is it just shows how much dedication Ubisoft have put into the creation of this game, and it really encourages me to believe that Primal is not just going to be a reskin of Far Cry 4. Ubisoft even went as far as to hire expert linguists at the University of Kentucky to recreate 3 entire languages based on ancient writings that have been found. Each of these languages will be spoken by one of the main tribes within the game. Okay everyone, that was Digital Pinnacle's top 5 new features of Far Cry Primal. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more high quality gaming videos. Far Cry Primal is out in stores very soon, so be sure to get that pre-order and start playing as soon as it is released.